Morning, welcome back to Alan's Allotment. It's Sunday the 29th, 29th of January 2023. In the shed, with a cup of coffee as usual. I just want to say a massive thank you again to everybody that comments on the videos. I really do appreciate it, and your feedback is really important to me, because I try to answer every single comment. I might miss the odd one, but I do try to answer every single comment. And your input really does help me think about more things or other stuff that I can try to produce. Now, I've got lots and lots of little ideas floating around in my head in here. But you're going to have to stay tuned to see some of these little experiments we're going to try. And it's predominantly based at a rural area where you've got no electricity. I obviously have, for the obvious reasons, if you've been watching the channel. But I'm trying to find alternative methods of doing things. So I want you to stay tuned and watch as we go through the videos. Obviously there'll be gardening videos, but there'll be little experiments through in between as well, which some people might find useful if they're successful and if they work. Right, I'm over in the garage, and we've been for our seed potatoes, in spite of me saving my own last year. But I bought these because there's some new varieties here I want to try and haven't tried yet. And I've kept some of what I know I did like. But I got these ones, the Kestrel, as a backup. Now these are definitely, without a doubt, my favourite potato at this time. I grew these last year for the first time, and they come out with purple bits on them. But the taste is unbelievable to me. Perhaps you guys have grew these already in the past and been growing them for many years. Let me know in the comments below if you've used these previously and you think the same thing. But these, at this moment in time, are my favourite potato, taste-wise. Absolutely beautiful. So the next one I got is Picasso. I've never grew Picasso before, but I've seen really good YouTube videos on Picasso and the size of the potatoes. Now, as most people know who follow my channel, I like to grow potatoes mainly. It's the main thing I actually have the garden for, and I want high yields of big, large potatoes, mostly. And these are apparently a really large potato, so I'm going to give these a go for the first time this year. And then I've got Cara, and these are also another big, large potato. And these are both main crop, these two. And I've seen good things with the Cara as well, and I really wanted to give these two a try this year. I don't know what they taste like, so if you do know, let me know in the comments section below, please. But this will be my first time trying Picasso or Cara. The Picasso ones were inspired by Steve Digwell Greenfingers on his potato challenge when I seen the yields that were coming out. They looked amazing, so hence the reason me growing these. But let me know what taste-wise what they're like. And these here I grew for the first time last year was Pentland Javelin, and the beds weren't very good and there wasn't a lot of nutrition in the beds. But what I did get out of them, these are a first early, again were quite a good sizable potato, and they produce high yields of large potatoes as a first early. So I'm going to do them again this year because I didn't keep any seed potato back. I actually eat them all, what I did get, which wasn't a fantastic harvest. Now, this is my own seed potato that I saved from last year. It's been in this garage, wrapped in a brown paper bag, up off the floor on a shelf and stored. And this is how I store seed potatoes. And then you take your gamble whether they'll survive or not. So let's have a look and see what state these are in with all the frosts we've had. That's not much good, is it? Right, let's get one or two out. So a lot of these are green, as you can see. And what's the top layer? So, so Charlottes are on the bottom. So these are the Kestrel. And obviously green potatoes aren't really edible, so we kept them for stock. I can see I've lost one or two of them. No, well, that's one certainly gone. But these are lovely and firm. So obviously some's fared better than others, but they're fine. I might have to go through this bag and just get everything out that's still okay. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased. They've kept reasonably well in spite of the weather. The Charlottes are on the bottom. And this is the one I'm really looking forward to this year. And this came from Terry King. And these have been protected, kept in the cardboard box, over in the other dry area where I have the diesel heater, and stored in a drawer as well. So these should have really survived any frosts that we've had up here. And as you can see, they are rock solid. And these are Condor. Now I've been trying to get some Condor, even just one potato, to make a start. And Terry King kindly sent me 3 of his that I'm not sure where he got his stock from, but I'm led to believe you can't sell these, but you can give them away. And these grow humongous as well, apparently. So every one is as firm as the day he sent them, and I'm really looking forward to getting those 3 potatoes in this year. So much so I'm going to try and maximise the crops out of these, and then if anybody does want any, if I get a decent harvest and anybody wants any to get a start, let me know and we'll let you have some. I also got these little lights as well, which are absolutely amazing. These are rechargeable. They come with a remote control, you can dim them and all the rest of it. And what's more, they even come with a solar panel each. And you get 2 in a pack. And they've got a remote control. I think they're 24 LED in each, I think they are. Obviously it's daylight as well in here, although you wouldn't think it. But they're absolutely fantastic just for little jobs like this. But more importantly, you can even hang them up on the beams, like so. And they still throw quite an amazing bit of light out, as you can see. And they come with a solar panel to keep it charged. I think they were 20 quid for the 2. Well, to say I'm pleased with them is a bit of an understatement, really. As I say, this is our log burner we're going to be getting installed as well. And I know 1 or 2 people are looking forward to this little project when I get round to it. But in one of my earlier videos I did say that I was so pleased with the diesel heater, I was thinking of getting another one. Well, that's what this box is here. So, let's give you a quick look. I haven't even opened this yet. Yes, it was double the price of the one I already have, because I bought that at a good time when they weren't as popular as they are today. And I've got this diesel heater and some more fire cement for when we do the little stove project. Whee, they're falling all over the place. Right. But this is the diesel heater. It's a self-contained all-in-one like the other one, because I just like them that way. You can buy them in kit form and set them up the way you want yourself, but this one is a self-contained one. That's the unboxing done. So basically you get a heat out pipe, which was about that big when I took it out, and they do stretch to that sort of length. Likewise with this was about that big, coiled up inside here, and that's stretched out. Comes with 4 feet, various Jubilee clips, a remote control, and an air filter. And this is the little unit itself. Simple. Couldn't be more simple. It's very similar to the other one, but this one's red instead of black, and it's a slightly more compact design. And apparently this one is 8 kilowatts, from 5 to 8 kilowatts. That remains to be seen. However, it'll be sufficient for what I need. But I'm going to do something slightly different with this one, and I'm going to see how I can maybe utilise this in here in the garage as a quick heat source if I'm just coming in for a couple of hours and I want to make sure the fire's out before I go. And I'm going to have this here so that if I know I'm up for a full day and I need the heat or boil water or food on the top of here, that I can light that instead. And it gives me 2 different alternate heat methods in here. This is the diesel heater out of the box. I've decided I'm actually going to get it fitted in now because it's freezing in here, and at least I can get some quick heat until all the other projects are done. So it's going to go up on there on that bench. It fits in here really nice. Oh, it sits on there quite merrily, and we'll run the exhaust out through these windows, which are actually steel. There's a bit of felt covering it, but it's steel plating on the other side. So what we'll do is we'll drill a hole in there, we'll get some fire sealant in, we'll get the exhaust out there. So that's basically the exhaust attached. Our air intake, which will be taking warm air in and keeping it away from the fumes. I could have done with a slightly longer one of these, but it'll do. And we're bringing it across, and we're going to take it out of this. I've cut the felt off this now, and we've got the steel plate, which is very warm because I've just used the grinder, the battery grinder, to do that with. And I've just cut a little square hole so we can get that in there. So we'll get a couple of brackets on here and get it screwed firmly in place, and then we'll get this sealed up with fire cement. And there we have it, installed. So again, a disclaimer: if you watch my videos and you copy what I do, I hold no responsibility for anything that you do. This is just how I do things. And remember, if you're using these or any other flammable material that produces carbon monoxide, get a carbon monoxide monitor. We have lift off. You can see the battery's nice and stable now at 12.4, which means it's holding its voltage. We've got the ignition, and we're getting hot air coming out of this now. It's actually on its lowest setting at the moment of 1.7. There's the low, that's the power level at 1.7. And cycling through here just gives us, that tells me the condition of the battery. But what's absolutely amazing is it's running off this tiny thing, which is only a 7 amp hour battery. And the big one obviously needs topped up and taken down home and put on a full charge, because it's obviously in need of a really good topping up now. So it's now slowing down because it's reached its temperature. Yep, it's reached temperature. So now that we've got the glow plug lit and we've got the it's 12.9 now, it's doing really well, this little battery. So if we cycle through and get back to the power level, we should be able to crank this back up. What I don't like about this one is the remote wasn't paired to it, so I'll have to read the instructions to find out how to pair the remote to it. Now we've set the full power, that shows it's been on 5 minutes. I just want to see how the battery holds out on this. And it's still holding above 12 volts, which is quite remarkable for this tiny battery. Now you're not going to run it for much of the time on this, but it's enough to prove the heater works. And it's holding its voltage really, really well, considering this is now going full tilt. So, we now have a heat source in the garage. Right, so that was an epic fail. It made an attempt to fire up, and it was throwing some heat out, but I could smell this awful smell outside. So I went round the back and looked at the exhaust, and the machine was smoking really bad. So that clearly told me that it wasn't, either the diesel wasn't ignited fully, the glow plug wasn't getting hot enough, or it was being starved of fuel somehow. Anyways, needless to say, I spent the next 2.5 hours taking the machine apart, and there was an air bubble in the fuel line. By the time I got the air bubble cleared, I disconnected it all and set it off running so that it would prime the pump through to lose the air bubbles, and then fitted it back on. But by the time I'd done that, that little battery just couldn't cope, and it basically bombed out on me. So I didn't conclude the test on that. So it's still in bits over in the garage at the moment. And it dawned on me that black battery, although I say it's a good battery, it is about 4 years old, but it's had little use. And it's never ever been taken home and given a proper charge on mains electric overnight, an overnight charge on a trickle charge. I'm going to check the cells as well and see if they need topped up with distilled water. I've got some. And when I came back over here, this diesel heater was still going, but I looked at the voltage on the battery and it had dropped right down to 9.6. So that battery is drained, and I think it's this cold frosty weather we've had in between times that's really taken its toll on these batteries. So they're going down home with me, and they're going to be put on an overnight trickle charge, both of them, because they obviously need it. And I'll check the cells as well for the levels. So I still enjoyed having a bit of a potter and a play about, but yeah, is what it is. Right, I'm having my final cup of coffee. It's now 4 p.m. It is nice to see the lights are drawing, the nights are drawing out now. It doesn't get fully dark now till about 5 o'clock, and it's been getting steadily lighter since 21st of December. We gain about 2 minutes daylight every day until the clocks go forward, and then it's about 3 minutes extra every day, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm not a fan of winter. Right, as always guys, wherever you are in the world, please stay safe and be practical. Keep yourselves out of harm's way. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.